What does it feel like to remember the man who kept saying, "Sei bellissima, sei bellissima"? How does a voice that once warmed the chest become the echo that binds it? The Italian lines say it plainly, "Sei bellissima, sei bellissima. Accecato d'amore mi stava a guardare." You are beautiful, blinded by love. He watched me. But love, when it comes to dwell with control, with silence, with slow erosion, becomes a different grammar. We must read that grammar. Personal, cultural, technological, structural. This is a story stitched from a love song and the ledger of the world. A narrative about why women wait, how they lose themselves, and what we must build so the waiting becomes an act of reclaiming rather than loss. We will speak of men who hurt not to vilify every man, but to understand pathways to harm, trauma, personality disorders, social misogyny, market incentives, and new technological abuses. Che strano uomo avevo io, con gli occhi dolci quanto basta. What a strange man I had, with eyes sweet enough. There is the paradise of beginnings, small gestures that convince us of belonging. But look, the same verse tells us how we dressed ourselves in memory. Io mi vestivo di ricordi per affrontare il presente. I clothed myself in memories to face the present. Why do women stay, sometimes for years, in relationships that hollow the self? Part of the answer sits inside the brain's bonding chemistry, attachment, oxytocin, and habit loops of reward. Part of the answer is social. Shame, economic dependence, children, fear of social judgment. Part is political and cultural, the scripts we inherit about patience, forgiveness, and the myth that love will fix damage. Some men carry wounds or patterns that lead to harm. We must name these pathways with clinical clarity and moral urgency, not to reduce blame, but to build responses. Pathways to harm include trauma legacies, where unresolved trauma can produce hypervigilance and emotional dysregulation. Untreated trauma can be a vector for harmful behaviour. Narcissistic patterns and personality disorders are associated with idealisation, devaluation, and discard. This cycle can co-opt a partner's identity. You were only ever my audience. Cultural misogyny and structural entitlement also play a role. Societies teach gendered scripts, entitlement to control, devaluing women's labour, normalising dominance. The internet and market incentives have birthed new harms: image-based sexual abuse, revenge porn, and deepfake sexual material. These business models monetize humiliation and abuse. Each of these drivers overlaps and is amplified by technology. We must respond not only with therapy and law, but with societal design, educational curricula, corporate responsibility, and funding for survivor services. Numbers are blunt, but they are also the map of urgency. Tens of thousands of women are killed each year by intimate partners or family members, with the home remaining the most dangerous place. To those who ask, is this rare? Understand. 1 in 3 women worldwide experience physical or sexual violence in their lives. It is a public health crisis, a governance failure, a moral emergency. When statistics reach into the millions, policy must answer with prevention, funded shelters, helplines, trauma-informed policing, and legal recognition of coercive control. Let us trace the sequence that leads to a woman clothing herself in memory to survive. Stage 1. The gift of being seen, where compliments like "sei bellissima" create belonging and safety. Stage 2. Small erosions. He criticises in jokes, frames her boundaries as the problem. She apologises for being sensitive as social conditioning trains women to accommodate. Stage 3. The cycle. Grand gestures alternate with cold distances. She hangs on to the proof, seeking return to the innocent morning when she felt whole. Stage 4. Gaslighting and erosion of reality. When she names harm, it becomes her fault. This undermines her epistemic authority, making her doubt herself. Stage 5. Isolation and economic social constraints. He gradually isolates her from friends, questions her work, controls money, or shames her for independent choices. Support networks wither. Stage 6. Threats and escalation. Explicit or implied threats of exposure, loss of children, or financial ruin. If technology is weaponized, he threatens to publish images or messages. Stage 7. The waiting room. She waits for the man who once said "Sei bellissima" to return. Hope becomes a habit. She rationalizes, clings to apologies, and rehearses exit scenarios that never become exits. This is not just the loss of hobbies or friendships, it is loss of voice, of decision-making taste, of self-trust. She is eroded, not vanished in a single blow. We must deploy 3 engines for future responses: EEQ, Emotional and Ethical Intelligence, AIQ, Artificial Amplified Intelligence, and SSQ, Social and Sustainable Intelligence. EEQ means teaching emotional literacy from childhood, providing accessible therapy, and programs for men that teach attunement and accountability. AIQ means using AI to protect, not violate, building rapid response takedowns for intimate images, automated detection systems, and privacy protective designs. SSQ means designing economic safety nets, creating legal recognition for coercive control, and building social campaigns that reframe waiting as a signal to support, not shame. This triple engine is not abstract. It is the set of levers we must pull together so that a woman's memory becomes source of power rather than a coat of rust. Leaving requires safety planning, legal supports, community networks, and often economic assistance. But the story we must tell is of reconstruction. First, someone believes you. The first believer is crucial. Second, safety, practical keys, documents, secure devices, shelter. Third, legal and financial scaffolding. Fourth, emotional repair, trauma-informed therapy, group support, ritual of renaming self. Fifth, social reinsertion, jobs training, community spaces, and retelling the woman's competence narrative. If you are a leader, in a company, in a campus, in a ministry, ask what you can change this week. Fund a helpline, overhaul HR, demand platform accountability, teach EEQ in schools. We return to the lines she sang and translate them like a ritual. Che strano uomo avevo io, what a strange man I had. Con gli occhi dolci quanto basta, per farmi dire sempre sono ancora tua. With eyes sweet enough to make me always say I'm still yours. She wore the morning like a second skin. When you first loved her, the world said yes. You inked her name on the small soft places, the wrist, the margin, the laugh. Then you taught her night by night to hold her breath, to count the doors between the promise and the leaving. Now she folds the old compliments into paper boats, sends them down the street of memory, watching them not sink. Say her name aloud, let it be a map. Beloved, you are allowed to change course. Beloved, you are allowed to keep your light. If the song you remember hurt you, come forward. We will build a way. We close where we began, with a line from the song and a mandate to collective action. Sei bellissima, she heard. May we reassemble a world where those words do not become chains, where love does not require vanishing, where technology is safety, not weapon, where policy passes the test of dignity. We are not poets pretending policy, we are practitioners making poetry of justice. We must be both, full of feeling and ferocious for systems. Like, share, comment with one reform you'd put into law today. Join the roundtable we will host. We will take top ideas, refine them with experts, and publish a public brief.